Today is Wednesday, October the 19th, 2022, and this is the City of Anderson Board of Architectural Review. First item on the agenda, addenda.
There could possibly be one item tonight if the applicant is present. Right now he's not, so we can discuss that at the end of the regular agenda.
All right, then we'll move right into the scheduled public hearings. First being BAR 2218. Maurice.
Yes, thank you. This is 108 Rose Hill, which is in the West Side Historic District, and this may be familiar to you because in July you had a request come before you for new solar panels on the roof of the dwelling. At that time, they asked for panels on the southern side of the building and also on the rear of the house. And it totaled 314 square feet. And as you reviewed it at that time, you determined that the panels on the rear of the house were acceptable because basically they weren't visible. And you did deny the southern facing side, but you did say keep the application open if they wanted to come back to you with a revised plan, perhaps with some panels on an accessory building or somewhere that wasn't so visible, you bring it back. Since that time, they did submit a revised plan. However, it is on the northern side of the house. Now, this is the property we're talking about. You can zoom out a little bit. Again, you approved panels on the back, but you cannot see obviously. Initially, the panels were on the southern side of the house, which you denied. Now they're requesting the northern side. Again, giving you this photo. It does have a little more foliage, as you can see, as you're looking down the street. But again, this is the northern side of the house, and they're requesting 6 panels to be on the northern side of the house. And this northern side is heading toward Whitner Street. Just to give you a perspective from the drawings that were submitted, this is the footprint of the house. And the panels, obviously on the rear, the majority of them are in the back, which again are not visible, which you were already approved. And then the ones that are being proposed tonight are on the northern side of the house. Again, the applicant's not in attendance, but again, this is what was submitted to us for your consideration tonight.
Very good, thank you. You know, the northern side versus the southern side, it's still, that doesn't resolve the visibility issue that we addressed last time this was before us. At that point in time, we clearly indicated the rear of the building, structure perfectly fine, but not on the side because of the visibility. Thoughts, comments as to whether moving from the northern side to the southern side makes any real difference as to the concerns we previously stated? Bill?
Not really. Still going to be visible. Might be slightly less noticeable, but still will be visible.
Anyone else?
So Maurice, was the accessory building not an option?
We requested that for consideration, and this is what the solar company came back with. They submitted it pretty soon after you acted on it in July. It was on hold in our files because, again, we didn't think it met the intent of what you voted on at the July meeting. But a couple of weeks ago, they did ask that we bring it forward to you for consideration.
Certainly, I mean, they have the right to have it brought back before us, but I'm not hearing any thoughts that it makes any real difference from our previous ruling.
No, I would say the north side is similar to the south. To that effect, it's still the same visibility.
Any other comments? All right, so just for clarification, we've already previously approved the rear of the structure being approved for the panels as initially submitted, denied the northern and now the southern before us. Is there a motion to approve or to deny?
Make a motion that we deny it.
Motion from Bill, is there a second? Second from Mary Lou. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Maurice, if you'll let the applicant know the decision, but again, would be happy to entertain the accessory structure as we indicated to them previously.
Sure.
Okay?
I'll pass that along. Thank you.
Thank you. Now on to BAR 2234.
Yes, this is 240 East Whitner Street in the Downtown Historic District. It's at the corner of East Whitner and South Manning. You know it as the old Dawson Radiator Shop. And we have a lot of renderings, photographs to show you as we go through this, but before I do that, just wanted to go over what the request is for, but they're asking for several exterior alterations to the building. And again, this building has features that are typical of a garage-type building, has a simple facade, modest features, it has large service doors, curb cuts leading to those doors. But what they're asking to do is to remove and install new storefront doors and windows, remove and install new overhead doors, and also replace the roofing system on the building. And there's several materials outlined that they wish to use. Again, the doors and windows to be black aluminum, storefront glass, the side door to be metal hollow core, black in color, the overhead doors to be aluminum frame with glass, and roofing material will be TPO, either white or gray. They'll have coping caps around the top perimeter. It will be black aluminum, and new gutter on the rear of the building. And any brick or block that needs to be replaced, they plan to replace it with similar size and coloring to what you see existing. Now I'll go through what the building currently looks like. This is the front of the building. This is East Whitmer Street. As you can see, there's a garage door here. There's some windows that have been painted over. You have windows up top. You can see the condition of the building from the front. This is the side view facing east, I guess going toward Fant Street. This is South Manning Street. And so Fant Street is on beyond that. As you can see, windows boarded up. This is the view facing downtown. This is what you see if you're heading from downtown.
Can you go back? I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
go
for
ahead.
1 second. I was
Go back.
trying to find our drawing that. Okay, thank you.
Yep. This is the opposite side. This is the side facing downtown. If you're heading away from downtown, down East Whitmer Street toward Fant Street, this is the side of the building you see. There actually was a little lean-to type structure on it at one time. It was in bad shape. It's gone now. This is the back of the building, kind of taken from up top. You can see 3 windows here. You can see the roof, the condition of it. Here's an aerial view. I didn't ask how they took that photo. They did nonetheless. Hopefully it's a drone or something like that, but you can see the roof located here. Now to get into the specifics of it, what I'll do is show you each perspective with a demo plan and then what they're planning to do. You know, this has been in your packet, but this is the front of the building. And what they're planning to do is to remove rotten wood frame, prepare the openings of the windows for new storefront windows on the 5 windows up top. Also, they plan to replace panes and everything else like that. They plan to remove the door frame, prepare those for new doors. They plan to remove the overhead door, prepare that for a new overhead door. Also, they plan to remove this area for a new overhead door to match. And this is what will come back. You can see they'll install new storefront glass windows. They'll be in range with what you typically approve up top here. We'll have some examples I can show you in a few minutes as well. New metal coping cap up top. Install glass doors on either side here. Also, new glass overhead door, one where the existing is, and one in the area which you previously saw where there was not a garage door as well there.
Okay, while you're on that one, the larger bricks surrounding these 2 doors, what's that material?
Concrete block?
Is it existing or?
Looking at it, the right side is existing, so we were just going to mirror the same on the left side of the roof.
Okay.
It looked, to our knowledge, it looked like that originally there was 2 larger overhead doors on both bays, and over the years they got built in and just went to 1 garage door.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry, Maurice, go ahead.
That's fine. Again, this is the applicant, Reese Alexander. He can answer things much better than I, so feel free. This is the side of the building facing South Manning Street. Again, removing the rotten wood frame, preparing the openings for new storefront windows up top, removal of the door, brick, and window, prepare the opening for new brick storefront window. Also remove brick vent and window, prepare opening for new storefront window. And then the signage on either side, they plan to retain the signage on both sides of the building. And this is current, that's the demo plan, this is what they plan to come back with. As you can see, there's a brick-in area here for this door area. But again, installing new storefront glass, similar to the front. Also, metal coping, typical of what you saw in the front. Again, the signage to remain. This is the new look here. Again, these windows, a lot of the windows you see around the building, particularly on the front and this side, they're painted. They plan to replace the panes that are broken. They plan to remove the paint to save the ones that exist. This is the side facing downtown. Again, not as much to this one. They plan to remove some rotten wood that's remaining from the lean-to that was torn down prior, and they plan to retain the signage and also remove floodlights, electric conduit, patch holes, and remove PVC air lines. So basically a lot of patchwork on this particular side of the building. You can see it's a little cleaner. Install metal coating, just like we saw on the opposite sides. Now this is the rear of the building. It's probably the least visible of the sides, and they plan to remove the rotten wood frame around the windows, repair the openings for new storefront windows. I do want to add that since the time of the application, the applicant's requesting to brick in the middle one, and there's a reason for that from a structural perspective. The original framework that carries a roof load was tied into a wooden header which went over the window, and for structural purposes and for support, they need to add a column, and it will go right in front of that window. So again, it renders that window useless, so they are requesting that they can brick in that window, again using materials that are similar in color to the existing. And that's showing that photo there. This is the roof, removing the skylight, or I'm sorry, retaining the skylight, removing a rooftop vent, and the hole will be patched with wood to receive new roofing material, and then removal of the tin roofing material, and to fix any decking in preparation of adding the TPO roof, really cleaning it up on top, installing metal coping caps over the entire perimeter of the parapet wall, and that's the plan for the top. And included in the packet were some examples of windows, doors, garage doors. This is, you see that a little bit there, but that's the type of window, the type of door they're proposing, the type of garage door they're proposing. So again, it's a lot, but a lot of detail in this particular plan, and if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask. Again, the applicant is here to answer any specifics that you may have tonight.
Sure, thank you. And you're correct. A lot of details, but wonderful detailed drawings, and that makes it all more easier for us. Just a couple of questions right off the bat. The new roofing, I take it this is before simply because it's a new material. The TPO, be white or be gray, will not be visible.
Should not be visible. I know we saw
the applicant's indicated no.
Parapet, but in this case, I don't think you'll be visible with any parapet.
But it looks like the parapet's going to have metal coping on the top. Next, my understanding from here, from the report to us, that you're not painting the brick, but simply replacing with similar color brick. What about the front of the building where you got it painted white and red and black? What's happening there color-wise?
I guess where the new man door would be on that left side, where the new overhead doors going.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so the red and black colors that you can kind of see in the picture that's there now. We were just, if you all wanted us to maintain the same look, the historical look of the radiator shop, that would just be the color that we would stick with.
But, I mean, well, this historic and then this old. So, I mean, what is your preference? What were your thoughts as to what to do?
I mean, the owner, I mean, she likes the look of it. She likes the old garage look, so she's fine with leaving it that color. But, I mean, if you guys would recommend or
I don't think there's no objection. It just simply wanted to know, because that's the only seemingly painted portion of the bricks.
Gotcha.
All right, folks, thoughts, comments?
Big undertaking.
Admirable.
Yep.
Wonderful
Yeah.
to save a building. Certainly give up a window in the back. to
Oh, yes, certainly.
have it not fall down.
Would you be repainting the painted brick?
Sir?
Would you be repainting the painted brick?
Yes, any new brick that we install, we'll repaint to match what's there, and then if the owner wants, which I'm sure she will, to put a fresh coat on the existing black and red, but she's really adamant about keeping the signage, the Dawson signage on both sides. We won't touch it. If anything, just kind of do a clear coat over it so it doesn't weather anymore.
Is I think what Bill's referencing is this side of the building, where it's all painted.
Yeah.
Is that going to be touched up, or as you said, simply clear coated, or what are the thoughts?
We'll try to paint 90% of that side white again, but just kind of leave the signage.
Sure.
Reese, which way does the roof slope? Does it slope toward the street or
It
toward?
slopes back towards, back away from Wicker Street. So it actually dumps onto the building behind it. That's why we were inquiring about the 6-inch box gutter on the back.
So it doesn't slope, I guess, like that rear elevation shows? Looks like that shows it sloping to the side, doesn't it, or not?
Now, if you're standing on Wicker Street facing the building, the roof slopes away from you.
Back, okay.
Towards the wheel area.
Gotcha.
Other questions, comments, or concerns? You know, there's an awful lot here. We could certainly go, as we on occasion, area by area, side by side, but as indicated initially, the extent of the drawing before us really help out. Any objection with taking it as a whole? Okay. Then with that, is there a motion? A motion from Amanda to,
To approve it as a whole.
as submitted?
As-
Very good. Second, from Bill. Anything further? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Thank you very much, Reese. Again, the detailed drawings really helps. Got us through the process. Good
The
luck.
good thing we came along was that building was probably about 5 years away from falling in.
Yeah.
Again, all the more appreciation for the efforts to salvage that and put it back in use.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Reese.
More like minutes.
Yeah.
Now on to BAR 2235.
Okay, this is 424 Central Avenue. It's in the North Anderson Historic District. This is Central Avenue, this is Edgewood. So as you can see, it's located at the corner of Edgewood, Central Avenue. The house is located here, and we're talking tonight about fencing, and the fencing is actually located back in this section. As you can see, it's very long frontage along Edgewood Avenue. And the applicant's requesting for new fencing. The fence installation was actually completed prior to VAR approval, so this is coming to you tonight after the fact. But as you can see, the stain has not been applied yet, so we can discuss that as well. The applicant does have a proposed stain color in mind. And again, as I said, this is a corner lot. You can see the extension of the fencing along Edgewood Avenue here, and it goes to this portion here. There's a gate in this area for them to access the remaining part of their backyard. It doesn't attach necessarily, but it's beside the wooden fence, possibly the neighbors, that extends along the backside of the property. There's wooden fencing in existence over here as well. So when reviewing requests such as this, you focus on standards set forth in Chapter 5, which is site design, which basically states that a fence or site wall should be in character with those used traditionally, relates to the principal structure on a lot. And again, it goes into details about types of fencing should be appropriate, would be chain link, or would be wood picket, wrought iron, that type of application. Things like chain link is not typically allowed. This did replace a chain link fence that was in existence along where you see the 6-foot fence now. The applicant is actually wanting to stain it when it's time, black in color. It's a cabin exterior wood stain sealer, which will show your wood texture, but it will be black in color, similar to what you see in this drawing. Again, you can see from the photographs that's in existence, so you can see where the actual location of the fence is. And again, the applicant is here. If you have any questions for her, or if you have any questions for me, I'll be glad to answer those as well.
Very good, thank you. Hadn't this property come before us prior to the fence on another issue?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, it may be years ago.
I know the property's been before us in the past. I thought it was before the fence, or was it with the fence? It was continued.
I thought it was the building that was before us.
It was the building.
The storage building.
The storage, yeah, because I knew the property had been
Okay.
before us.
Yeah.
And that was before the fence.
Yeah.
They wanted to put the storage, well, it doesn't matter.
Right, but I mean, but we ruled on the storage fence, but, excuse me, the storage building, but the fence had not yet been erected.
Right.
That's a different property.
It's a different property?
That's a different property. That's on the other end. That's on Watson
Okay.
and Eastwood.
Yeah, I don't think there's been any BAR activity in the past 5 or so years on this
Okay.
lease, so.
All right, so-
I just purchased the property in April. So,
Okay. All right, so thoughts, comments, concerns?
I had a question. Our property's right next door, and there's an existing fence that was existing on the line between our house and the back of your yard. Is that going to be included in the part you're going to stay in?
that's up to you guys. I actually had reached out to you and learned, Greg told me you were out of the country.
You were.
And then I got sick and let it all go. So totally up to you guys. I'm willing to stain my side, the black color, but if you don't want that, that's fine too.
It won't show from our side. So.
Ma'am,
I said it won't show from our side. I was just wondering if you're going to make it,
uniform. I
because
agree.
they come together,
Right.
so.
And honestly, I struggled with the same color because you've got the red brick, you've got the white carriage house that has black hardware, that they're dead, of course, the white trim and black, and I was really left with black or white. And do you have that picture, Maurice, with the gate in the front that would be on the Edgewood side?
I don't think I do, Ms. Guerin.
Okay, that's okay, but my plans down the line are to do landscaping around, obviously the street side, but to add something more like a decorative gate on the edge of the side. If that makes sense.
Let's see.
So this fence goes with what we're seeing of the,
It's here, and it goes on here, back.
is this the house it belongs to?
That's the house. This is Edgewood.
And I don't know why, we don't have a picture of the front of the house.
There's on this end. You see that? This is the one that has been there for a couple of decades.
And it touches.
It's separate, it's on the line between our two properties.
And what color?
It's just, not a clear stain, but if you see the wood grain, it's just natural wood.
Is that your fence? Where it is?
It's on the line. With the previous neighbor, we went together and.
All right, so what are your thoughts, folks? Thoughts, comments, concerns?
Well, my thought is, when you see it, hold this, so fence is already a color, and this joins it. It seems to me, even though they're not necessarily owned by the same people, that to all of a sudden come with a black fence would be very, disruptive,
Sure.
it's gonna.
Okay, well, perhaps I'm confused. What is new? What was there prior to?
There was a chain link fence there before, I think.
Okay, that
Looks like old.
all of that is the new.
That is new, yes.
Okay, so it's marrying up to what?
Well, if you see, it goes behind the little carriage house there.
Oh, okay.
There, the fence back there that you see where your pin just was, Maurice. Right, that,
Oh.
go
To
up.
the
Yeah.
To the right,
Right.
to my right.
Yeah,
Right
here.
there, that's the existing fence.
Okay.
That separates
Yeah.
our properties.
What color is the existing fence? Dark brown?
It's it's
Yeah,
just,
right,
we just had it
right,
stained
yeah.
with almost clear brownish, but you can still, I mean, it's a wood fence. And, I mean, I'm not opposed to because she could do her side to match her fence and ours could stay the same. That,
Well, and eventually, you said you were going to plant some shrubbery or something in front of it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You know, there's a color that it's not black, but it, you know, it's almost like a brownish, earthy color. That shrubbery or whatever you do just sort of, you know, blends in with it. To me, the black might almost stand out too much.
Black or white could be really harsh. So something more subtle.
That's why I submitted several pictures, and you can see, first of all, it'll be a stain and not a paint. And there will be natural wood that will show through. And I plan on that front there, on the Edgewood side, the picture I submitted is kind of like a pergola top gate, you know, much more decorative. And the green really pops against it, looks really nice. I'm just trying to match my house, which, you know, like I said, is black or white, unless I wanted to go with some kind of red, and that's not really true to the time period. I really don't think natural is either. It seems like it's usually black or white. I don't know. You guys know more about it than I do.
Let me just point out, if you go doing some decorative additional work, you got to come before us first.
Oh, I understand. I've learned, yes. Yes, I've learned for sure. And I apologize. Honestly, I was just focused on improving what was back there and creating privacy for myself. And I understand now. And I actually had a question. There's some old satellites on my roof. Do I need permission to remove those?
No.
No, okay.
we'd be happy to see this.
All right, so, where are we, guys?
What's this?
Okay, Maurice, what color is this, or that's being submitted?
The color,
Mary indicated several samples have been,
the sample that we received was a Cabot's brand exterior wood stain. It's a black color. It's actually called black.
Yeah, that picture.
No fancy names on this particular stain.
But this newest picture is this black stain, apparently.
I think it's similar to that, yes. Is that from the?
It's similar, no, it's not from that color.
It's not so bad.
I mean, the stain is more of a muted black as opposed to a black paint.
Right, flat, for sure.
Right, so yeah, I think it wouldn't be as stark since it's a stain.
It's similar to the color, but it has a little more brown in it, I think,
Right,
that we have.
yeah, some of the brown shows through.
That we have approved before, because it does just sort of blend in.
And especially when you do the landscaping on the Edgewood side, that's going to make a difference as well.
Mary Lou, pull your microphone a little closer.
I'm sorry.
All right, so where are we, folks?
We're looking at either the black or this, or the black stain like the last photograph showed.
That's the same.
The last photo was a black
A
stain.
black stain, and you can see through it and still see that it's a wood fence. It's not glossy. think it don't look that bad. I think it looks okay. It's better than a bright white fence.
Not the new color that we just saw.
Yeah, the new
The
color.
the new color as
Which is
opposed
that-
to the color in the pamphlet.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
more opaque, and you want the translucent.
So with that, do we have a motion and with some specificity?
I'll just make a motion to approve the black stain as submitted.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
A second from Bill. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
I promise.
All right. Now, we're at 2236, is that correct? Yes.
Yes, and the next two actually pertain to the same building.
Okay.
We're talking about 502A and 502B North Main Street, both in the Downtown Historic District. We're starting with 502B North Main Street. And just to give you a perspective, this is the front of the building. Again, the courtyard, magnetic south brewing is on the opposite side. The space we're talking about, you can see from the courtyard area circled here. Zooming in a little closer, we're talking about that space. And if you zoom in a little bit more, we're talking about signage in the areas that you see circled there. The applicant seeking approval for new signage in a multi-tenant building, as you can see, that has been recently renovated. Specifically, they're asking to install a round aluminum sign, approximately 3 square feet in size. It'll be mounted with brackets above the entryway, as you can see with this example here. Again, it's going to be located in this area right here. This is just an example for you. This is actually what the sign will have on it. But again, aluminum sign, no lighting at all. Again, 3 square feet in size. And when you do look at signage, you look at items set forth in Chapter 80 of your guidelines relating to making sure that the signs are in balance with the overall character of the property. Appropriate signs include freestanding, flush-mounted, window, projecting signs like you see here, hanging, awning, and directional signs. And the sign should be seen with those you typically find in historic districts. So this is before you tonight. The applicant is not in attendance, but again, 3 square feet, aluminum sign, not lit.
As indicated, aluminum sign, wall-mounted, we've approved it time and time again, very attractive, appropriate in scale and presentation. Any concerns? Motion to approve, with a motion from Amanda, second from Jill. Anything further? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very nice.
Good, thank you.
And finally, on to BAR 2237.
Yes, again, this looks familiar because we just talked about the same building. This is 502A North Main Street in the Downtown Historic District. And we're actually talking about the storefront that takes up the Main Street frontage. And a bistro is proposed. And what you see in your packet, there has been a revision. There's a new and improved version. I'll show it to you tonight. So again, scrap what you see in the package right now. But the applicant has submitted a new package, and this is the front of the building. A couple of changes that you'll see is that there's an awning now. There's 2 20-foot roughly sections to be located here. Signage will be above it, approximately 9-inch letters attached to the structure. And also, on the side of the building, there will be a projecting sign. It's double-faced. It's the edges is a metal gold color. The interior is an acrylic. It'll be internally lit. So this is the design they're looking to do now. So again, this is a revision from what you have in your packet, but again, this now involves a projecting sign, the signage above, proposed awning, again about 40 feet of awning spreading the entire frontage of the building. And again, the same design standards that you find in your historic district guidelines apply as we saw in the previous one. Applicant is here if you have any specific questions for them.
Very good. Very attractive to the sign again, wall-mounted, appropriate materials, what we've approved not only repeatedly, but just a moment ago. As to the awning up front, again, we've routinely approved awnings. Here, I would point out, and sort of for future consideration and thoughts, while the awning, in my opinion, the front of this building is appropriate and would work, should we have future applications from down the side of the building where there'd be multiple businesses, possibly with different requests and awnings of different styles, that I don't think that would be appropriate. Also, that is a roadway as well going to that parking lot. So, while I'm personally in favor of what's been presented tonight, I would have us give some thought against future down the side. I don't think that would be appropriate there. But in this particular application, it looks great.
But we try to take things following the guidelines, we approve things following the guidelines and consider them on a one-by-one basis. So if there was going to be a different business there, they would have to come before us before they could change it. I mean, yeah, I thought you would fail.
You're not going to fail, right? That looks great.
I was talking about putting, if they wanted the awning in this area here later, another business is there.
Later down the side.
Yeah, down the side of the building.
Well, that's what I'm
the front.
saying, if you're saying another business.
Different other businesses going down the side of that building. I don't think would be, this doesn't appear to be appropriate for awnings.
The chairman's talking about in these spaces here.
Right.
That this wouldn't set a precedent for those to be approved.
Would we not take it?
We would, we can't prejudge. I'm just bringing that up for discussion for future consideration, that in approving this for the front of the building, which is the entire front of the building, I don't think that indicates that we would necessarily approve different hodgepodge of awnings, plus there is that roadway issue.
Tracy, what's the structure of, is it aluminum tube, aluminum supporting?
Yes. I'm going to have Anderson awnings. They've done all of them. Choosing the gray and black versus like the bright white. Tracy Starmas, the gray and black. It looks white and black. It just doesn't get dirty as quick.
Right.
But yes, to answer your question. And I appreciate you guys rolling with my punches.
Joe, you have a question? Comment?
I love it.
I mean, it helps to see the rendering,
I
for
can't
sure.
wait to go
Yeah,
there.
if we didn't have that rendering, it would be more difficult to picture, probably.
All right, so, sounds like we're ready to make a motion from Joe to approve. Second from Amanda. Anything further? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
You got it. Congratulations. We look forward to your opening. And when's the timing of this?
Yeah.
When's the timing of
Oh, no,
this?
I know.
Praise the Lord Jesus himself.
Yeah, we're hoping end of November, 1st of December.
Oh, fantastic.
We're hoping to get a CO in the next 2 to 3 weeks and then give our team 2 or 3 weeks to figure out life and, it's exciting. And so yeah, I know less is more. Billy knows I'm a chatter.
Well, all the best. Thank you. All right, that concludes the public hearings. Addenda, the Maurice had mentioned the applicant's not here.
So we can postpone that until next meeting if that's...
Very good. All right. And finally, the minutes had been sent out. Any additions, corrections? And I'll be happy to entertain a motion when the time comes. I have a motion from Mary Lou, second from Billy. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Anything further tonight? Hearing none, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.